How's it going, everyone? We've had a plethora of new PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 game reveals over the last couple of weeks. I want to highlight some of those games. We've got about 8 games to go over. A lot of them may have gone under your radar, so let's just get right into it, and let's start off with 505 Games and the Bearded Ladies Miasma Chronicle. Now, this is on the PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC, so this is a next-gen title, and if you're not familiar with the Bearded Ladies, they actually did Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden, another tactical game. Saw some comparisons to like XCOM. The game notes, in the not too distant future, America has been torn apart by a savage force known only as the Miasma. Meet Elvis, a young man brought to the mining town of Sedentary as a baby, left by his mother in the care of a robotic older brother and given a mysterious glove with which he can control the Miasma. Join the brothers on a quest across a post-apocalyptic wasteland to find the answers they crave, answers which may change the course of human history forever. From the creators of Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden comes a beautifully crafted tactical adventure you won't forget. Now, we've only got a cinematic teaser trailer for the game, but we do also have some screenshots, and you could tell still retaining that tactical-based gameplay. However, this does seem to be a far bigger budget game in comparison to Mutant Year Zero Road to Eden. That game had some issues, but was still a pretty decent tactical title. The game notes real-time exploration gameplay meets tactical turn-based combat with RPG elements, explore rich, beautiful environments meeting outlandish characters, upgrade weapons and abilities, give your heroes the edge in combat in an involving fantasy story through which you learn the truth behind the Miasma. The game is scheduled for a release in 2023, so a ways away, but you know, 2023 is going to be here before you know it. It really depends on when in 2023 it's going to come out. And I thought the cinematic trailer was charming as hell, so check it out for yourself with the audio unmuted. So I think this is going to be one of interest to a lot of you guys. Again, 2023. Next up, we have The Legend of Tianding coming to PS5 and PS4 this summer along a free boss rush update. Now, this game was already out on PC, and it had a very strong reception on PC with 1,608 user reviews. Yes, that's not a ton of user reviews, but 96% of those reviews were positive with an overwhelmingly positive reception. Game's got a great art style. The game notes, it's a side-scrolling action game about the legendary Taiwanese folk hero explore the dazzling streets of colonial Japanese Taiwan in the early 20th century. 2D platformer, got a bit of an anime vibe going on as well. The game was released at $19.99, and it also had an 80 on Metacritic, so outside of the fan reception, critical reception was also rather strong, and I have to say some of the presentation elements super slick and has a bit of an anime or comic book style, and at the same time, the kung fu fighting in the game, that looks really well presented as well. So something to be on the lookout for. This one is dropping this summer. Next up, we have the squad-based real-time strategy game, The Valiant, announced for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, and PC, set in 13th century Europe and the Middle East. The game follows the story of a former Crusader knight who, after becoming disillusioned with the cruelty of war, is called back into action by events set into motion 15 years ago, where he and his former brother-in-arms, Ulrich von Grevel, stumble upon a fractured piece of an ancient artifact, the Rod of Aaron. A young monk named Malcolm appears at Theodoric's doorstep, bringing him news that the rod contains power never meant for mortals, and Ulrich has become obsessed with finding the remaining pieces and unifying the rod, an event that could bring untold evil and suffering to the world. The game's key features note squad-based real-time strategy game with a range of units from tanky swordsmen to quick cavalry, select hero squads, and auxiliary squads across 15 exciting handcrafted single-player missions, each with custom cinematics, narrated journals, difficulty levels, and more. Over 5 hero squads, each with 3 different skill trees, providing players unique passive and active skills to choose from while leveling up their heroes, and large array of weapons and armors to loot and equip throughout the campaign, each with their own stats and special skill options. Unfortunately, the game does not have an official release date set, but the game does look relatively far along, so I would imagine this would either be a early 2023 game or at least sometime in 2023. Next up, for those of you that dig horror games, horror action adventure game The Chant will be coming to PlayStation 5, Xbox Series, and PC this fall, coming from Prime Matter and developer Brass Token. Prime Matter, of course, a new publishing label. The game notes, peace, tranquility, and enlightenment on an idyllic, remote island. What more can you possibly want? The dark side of spirituality breaks through the confines of normality in the new psychedelic horror title, The Chant, a third-person horror action adventure game which will have you on the edge of your seat. Set at a spiritual retreat on a remote island, the Chant has you trying to survive encountering a host of ethereal terrors unleashed after a ritual chant goes horribly awry and opens a portal to a nightmare dimension named the Gloom. This dimension feeds off negative energy, driving you and the others made by preying on anxieties and fears, manifesting them as interdimensional creatures. The Chant takes you on a journey of psychedelic horror, the likes of which has never been experienced before. But all is not lost, as it seems, by unraveling the mysteries of a 1970s new age cult while strengthening your mind, body, and spirit. You can reverse the effects of the Chant and avoid being trapped in the gloom forever. Again, this one will be dropping this fall. Next up, we have an upgrade coming to PS5 and Xbox Series, and that is Hellpoint, a Souls-like that got a little bit of buzz last year. For the first time outside of high-end PC, players will be able to take in the sights and sounds of the cursed space station of Irid Nouveau in pin-sharp 4K, running at a silky smooth 60 frames per second on Xbox Series and PlayStation 5. Loading times are also drastically decreased. Launching alongside the next-gen update is the first downloadable content expansion for Hellpoint Blue Sun, first announced in August 2021. In this new adventure, the Spawn will delve into strange, never-before-seen locations within Irid Nouveau, behold the influence of the cosmic gods, and discover the true cause of the merge cataclysm. The game didn't get the strongest reception in the world, but I thought I would still make note of this, since it's nice to see even games that, didn't get the greatest amount of buzz in the world. They're still working on it and still providing upgrades on PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, so hats off to them. That's great to see, and this is going to be dropping on July 12th. Next up, we have the roguelite RPG, the Hand of Merlin, which is dropping June 14th for PS5, Xbox Series, PS4, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. This has been in early access for a little bit, so now it's finally coming out of early access on PC and onto a full release. Had a mostly positive reception in early access, 140 reviews, 78% positive. The Hand of Merlin is a turn-based roguelite RPG in which Arthurian legend meets with sci-fi horror. Recruit mortal heroes to explore lands rife with otherworldly evil, make narrative-bending choices and unique interactive encounters, and search for the lost fragments of your soul across the multiverse. This is a turn-based tactical style game, so might not be for everyone, but definitely has an audience. This is dropping on June 14th. Next up, another tactical game, a tactical RPG, and Gloomhaven is making the transition from PC onto consoles. Now, this came out on PC back in October of last year, and it's coming to consoles in 2023. Set in a medieval dark fantasy universe, Gloomhaven is a tactical RPG mixing card-based strategy and adventurous dungeon crawling, featuring solo play and online co-op. Sell your sword to any who can afford it, and carve your way through dark caves, dreadful forests, and terrifying dungeons filled with horrific monsters to reap your rewards or die trying. Lead your band of mercenaries through an unforgiving world where every choice can have life or death consequences. Each of Gloomhaven's 17 unique characters come with their own skills and more than 1,000 different abilities to master. The digital version of Gloomhaven has continued to grow since launch with new content and updates, including the recently released downloadable content Jaws of the Lion. Now, Gloomhaven was in early access on PC in July of 2019, then it saw its final release in October of 2021, and now it'll finally be getting its console release in 2023. We don't have specific platforms, but I would imagine PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series. The game isn't blowaway from a visual standpoint, so I think they can get it on all of those platforms, maybe even the Nintendo Switch. Lastly, I do want to note Nexomon and Nexomon Extinction, the complete collection, has been announced for PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch. This is due out in 2022, and I know a lot of people dig Nexomon, obviously a Pokemon-style game. It's not as big as Pokemon. It's clearly, something that takes inspiration, to say the least, from Pokemon, but has its own unique vibe to it as well. The game notes return once again to classic monster catching and experience the complete Nexomon story with 2 epic adventures in one. Battle and tame hundreds of Nexomon with more than 600 Nexomon from 9 elemental types to discover through wild encounters and level-based evolution. Creating a team that matches your playstyle is effortless. It notes explore a vast and varied world, make new friends, and battle evil foes. Become a Nexomon Grand Master. Again, Nexomon Complete Collection will encompass both games, and it will be launching in 2022. And that's going to do it for me. Hopefully I was able to highlight some games that are going a little bit under the radar, maybe not games that are going to be on your calendar marking down the days until they come out, but games that maybe as we get closer to the release, maybe it's a more quiet period, and one of these games you'll want to end up checking out. Nonetheless, that's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.